కాంపిటేటివ్ ఎగ్జామ్స్ కి ప్రిపేర్ అవుతున్నారా?
అయితే ఎన్ని నెలలు కరెంట్ అఫైర్స్ చదవాలి, ఎలా మార్కులు సాధించాలి అని ఆలోచిస్తున్నారా?
2 తెలుగు రాష్ట్రాల్లో కాంపిటేటివ్ పుస్తక రంగంలో #1 గా ఉన్నటువంటి S&S పబ్లికేషన్స్ ఎవర్ లేటెస్ట్ అండ్ ఫుల్లీ కవర్డ్ 9 months కరెంట్ అఫైర్స్ పుస్తకాన్ని 2 తెలుగు రాష్ట్రాల ఆల్ కాంపిటేటివ్ ఎగ్జామ్స్ కి సరిపోయే విధంగా రూపొందించి మీకు అందిస్తోంది మీ S&S
పబ్లికేషన్స్ వారి పుస్తకాలను ఇప్పుడు మీరు ఆన్లైన్లో కూడా ఆర్డర్ చేయొచ్చు. యూ కెన్ జస్ట్ లాగ్ ఆన్ టు www.sonlinebooks.com. ఈ వెబ్సైట్లోకి మీరు లాగిన్ అయ్యి మీకు కావాల్సిన పుస్తకాన్ని ఆన్లైన్ ఆర్డర్ చేయొచ్చు అండ్ మీ డోర్ స్టెప్ దగ్గరికి డెలివరీ కూడా చేయడం జరుగుతుంది. Hello students, welcome back to S&S Publications online English classes, and in today's class we are going to discuss model paper number 14 out of top 21 model papers of AP TET 2022. Okay, so let's get started. So model paper number 14. So first question is always about passage. 2 questions or 3 questions will be given from this passage. From this passage around 61 to 63. So total 3 questions are given. So before read the passage, I always suggest you to go through the questions given. Who is Abdul Kalam? Knowledge society is a society. How can India regain its image? So my dear students, through this question, you might have understood the writer or the author of this passage, Abdul Kalam, and it's about India and how can it regain its image. So this is all about that, I think. Let's get reading now. Ancient India was an advanced knowledge society. Invasions and colonial rule destroyed its institutions and robbed it of its core competence. Its people have been systematically degraded to the lower levels of existence. By the time the British left, our youth had lowered their aims and were satisfied earning an ordinary livelihood. India is essentially a land of knowledge, and it must rediscover a land of knowledge. It must rediscover itself in this aspect. Once this rediscovery is done, it will not require much struggle to achieve the quality of life, strength and sovereignty of a developed nation. So my dear students, you might have understood to some extent while reading the passage. Let's go point by point. Ancient India was an advanced knowledge society. మనకి పూర్వం ఇండియా ఎట్లా ఉండేది? అడ్వాన్స్డ్ నాలెడ్జ్ సొసైటీ. మన కంట్రీ అనేది, మన కంట్రీకి ఉన్నంత జ్ఞానం, అంటే సొసైటీ అంటే మన కంట్రీలో ఉన్న పీపుల్. ఇట్ ఈస్ అ ల్యాండ్ ఆఫ్ నాలెడ్జ్. Invasions అంటే occupation by whom? The colonial rule. When Britishers occupied, they destroyed its institutions and robbed it of its core competence. Core competence means our knowledge, our skills, our country pride. ఇవన్నీ కూడా బ్రిటిషర్స్ ఎప్పుడైతే మనల్ని ఆక్యుపై చేశారో వాళ్ళు దే రాబ్డ్ అంటే మన దగ్గర నుండి వాళ్ళు తీసుకొని పోయారనమాట. Its people have been systematically degraded to a lower levels of existence. మన ఇండియాలో ఉన్నటువంటి పీపుల్ ఒక సిస్టమాటికల్లీ ఎట్లా అంటే డిగ్రేడ్, వాళ్ళకున్న స్టాండర్డ్స్ని, వాళ్ళు ఎక్కడ పుట్టారో, ఏ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ కంట్రీలో పుట్టారో అవన్నీ కూడా వాళ్ళు మర్చిపోయేలాగా ఒక సిస్టమాటిక్గా వాళ్ళ స్టాండర్డ్స్ని వాళ్ళు దిగజార్చుకునేలాగా బ్రిటిషర్స్ చేశారు అనేది మీనింగ్. బై ద టైమ్ ద బ్రిటిష్ లెఫ్ట్ అవర్ కంట్రీ, అవర్ యూత్ హ్యాడ్ లోయర్డ్ దేర్ ఎయిమ్స్ అండ్ వర్ సాటిస్ఫైడ్ ఎర్నింగ్ అన్ ఆర్డినరీ లైవ్లీహుడ్. సో మనలో బ్రిటిషర్స్ వదిలి మన కంట్రీని వెళ్ళిపోయేటప్పటికి మన యూత్ అందరూ కూడా యూత్ అనే వాళ్ళు చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్ కదా కంట్రీకి. వాళ్ళు ఎలా అయిపోయారంటే వాళ్ళు బ్రతకడానికి సరిపోయేంత సంపాదించుకుంటే చాలు అన్న విధంగా వాళ్ళు తయారయ్యారనమాట. అట్లా వాళ్ళు చేసి బ్రిటిషర్స్ మనల్ని వదిలిపెట్టేసి వెళ్ళిపోయారు. ఇండియా ఈజ్ ఎసెన్షియల్లీ అ ల్యాండ్ ఆఫ్ నాలెడ్జ్. మన కంట్రీ అనేది ల్యాండ్ ఆఫ్ నాలెడ్జ్ అనమాట. అది ఎప్పుడు మనం రీడిస్కవర్ ఇట్ సెల్ఫ్ ఇన్ దిస్ ఆస్పెక్ట్. మనల్ని మనం తిరిగి కనుక్కోవాలి. మన ల్యాండ్ ఆఫ్ నాలెడ్జ్ని, మనకున్నటువంటి స్కిల్స్ని, మన కంట్రీ ఎలాంటిది అనేది మనం తెలుసుకోవాలి. వన్స్ దిస్ రీడిస్కవరీ ఈజ్ డన్, ఒక్కసారి మనం గనక అది తెలుసుకున్నట్లయితే, మనం అంటే సొసైటీ, పీపుల్, ఇండియన్స్, మనం తెలుసుకుంటే ఇట్ విల్ నాట్ రిక్వైర్ మచ్ స్ట్రగుల్ టు అచీవ్ ద క్వాలిటీ ఆఫ్ లైఫ్, ద స్ట్రెంగ్త్, ద సావర్నిటీ ఈజ్ నథింగ్ బట్ ఇండిపెండెన్స్ ఆఫ్ అ డెవలప్డ్ నేషన్. ఒక్కసారి అది మనం తెలుసుకుంటే కనుక అచీవ్ చేయడానికి ఆ క్వాలిటీ ఆఫ్ లైఫ్ని మనకు ఎంతో సమయం పట్టదు అనేది మనకి అబ్దుల్ కలాం సార్ ఈ పారాగ్రాఫ్ ద్వారా మనకి చెప్తున్నారు. లెట్స్ సీ నౌ, లెట్స్ ఆన్సర్ ద క్వశ్చన్స్. హూ ఈజ్ అబ్దుల్ కలాం? యువర్ ఆప్షన్స్ ఆర్ అ గ్రేట్ సైంటిస్ట్, ద ఫార్మర్ ప్రెసిడెంట్ ఆఫ్ ఇండియా, a visionary. Option 4, all the above. What is your option? So isn't he a great scientist? He is. Isn't he the former president of India? He is. Isn't he a visionary? Yes, he is. So can we go with the option all the above? Yes, he is everything. He is a great scientist, he is the former president of India, he is a great visionary, and he is everything. So you can go with the option number 4. Knowledge society is a society. So here where it is mentioned knowledge society, what is this society? Where knowledge is abundant and cheap. ekkadaithe knowledge samriddhiga undo cheap ga undo danni antama. Where people have great knowledge, information and skills. ekkadaithe prajalu గ్రేట్ నాలెడ్జ్ని కలిగి ఉంటారు, గ్రేట్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ని, స్కిల్స్ని కలిగి ఉంటారు, అలాంటి దాన్ని నాలెడ్జ్ సొసైటీ అంటామా. వేర్ నాలెడ్జ్ ఈజ్ వాంటింగ్, వేర్ మెన్ ఆఫ్ నాలెడ్జ్ ఆర్ రెస్పెక్టెడ్. This is the right option. Where people have great knowledge, information and skills, అలాంటి సొసైటీని మన నాలెడ్జ్ సొసైటీ అంటాం. How can India regain its image? How can India regain its image? India essentially a land of knowledge. It must rediscover itself in this aspect. ఇక్కడ మనకి క్లియర్గా మెన్షన్ చేశారు కదా, discovering that it is a land of knowledge. It is not progressing industrially, it is not becoming hardworking, it is not developing its economy. It is discovering. You need to rediscover that it is a land of knowledge. This is the right option. So we are done with the passage. Let's move on to the next question. Choose the correct meaning for the underlined word. The giant put a notice board, trespassers will be prosecuted. Trespassers means a person who enters the land, others land, without any permission. ఎలాంటి పర్మిషన్ లేకుండా వేరే వాళ్ళ ల్యాండ్లోకి వీళ్ళు అడుగు పెడితే వాళ్ళని ట్రెస్పాసర్స్ అంటాం. So let's see which option is suitable. Persons who enters the premises without permission, persons who forcibly enter the premises, persons who officially enter the premises, not who officially enter the premises, not who forcibly enter the premises, who inevitably no. The first option, persons who enter the premises without permission, without having any permission. When the person enters the other's land, such people are called trespassers. Okay, so this is the option. Let's move on to the next question. Match the following words with their antonyms, opposite words. Let's see the words given: started, pleasant, tasty and smooth. And your options given: unpleasant, rough, ended and insipid. Started ante మొదలవడం. What is the opposite word? Ended. So option C. ప్లెజెంట్గా ఉన్నటువంటి ఆపోజిట్ వర్డ్ అన్ప్లెజెంట్. టేస్ట్లెస్, ఫ్లేవర్లెస్. ఇన్సిపిడ్ అంటే మనకి టేస్ట్లెస్ కానీ ఫ్లేవర్లెస్ కానీ ఇన్సిపిడ్ అంటాం. సో ఆప్షన్ డి. స్మూత్గా ఉండడానికి స్మూత్. రఫ్, వాట్ ఈస్ ద ఆపోజిట్ వర్డ్? రఫ్. CADB. ఆప్షన్ 2 is the right answer. Let's move on to the next question. Match the following words with their homonyms or homophones. What are homophones, my dear students? In previous papers we already discussed. 2 or more words having the same pronunciation but different meanings and different spellings. Such words are called homophones. Here if you notice, complement and complement sound same but difference in spellings, just one letter difference and total meaning changes. And find, flower, flew. So here if you notice, the spellings are different but the pronunciation is same and the meaning is also different. Complement and the same complement. Option D. Complement means aggregate or in addition to. MPLIMENT complement means praising, పొగడ్డాన్ని కాంప్లిమెంట్ అంటారు. సో ఆప్షన్ డి. ఫైండ్ అంటే FIND ఫైండ్. ఫైండ్ మీన్స్ కనుక్కోవడం. FINED ఫైండ్ మీన్స్ జరిమానా విధించడం. సో ఆప్షన్ సి. ఫ్లవర్ హియర్ FLOWER ఫ్లవర్ అంటే మీకు తెలుసు ఫ్లవర్స్ అని వస్తుంది. ఇక్కడ మనకి పిండి అని వస్తుంది అనమాట. సో ఆప్షన్ బి. ఫ్లూ అంటే ఎగిరిపోవడం. ఎక్కడ FLU ఫ్లూ అంటే కోల్డ్, ఫ్లూ మనకి ఫీవర్ రావడం అంటాం కదా, సో అట్లా వస్తుంది అనమాట. ఆప్షన్ ఏ. DCBA. Where do you have it? Option 1 is the right answer. Very easy word, so that's why I'm not taking much time to explain. Let's move on to the next question. Find out the wrongly spelt word from one of the 4 words in 4 options. Beautiful. I always suggest you to read once or twice following the phonic sounds to find out the spellings. Beautiful, cobbler, and sometimes though you follow the phonic sounds and the sounds, proper sounds, you may not find it out, particularly IE, EI, OU in these cases, vowels. Catching features. Familiar, incredible, acrobats, gorgeous. My dear students, here gorgeous. Gorgeous means E, not I. So this is the wrongly spelt word, gorgeous. Okay? Let's move on to the next question. What is the underlined phrasal verb in the below sentence means? These private buses often break down in the middle of the journey. These private buses appudu middle of the journey lo break down avutayi. What do you mean by break down? So we already previous model papers we saw the break away or broke away. Now break down. Stop functioning because of some fault. Make important discoveries. Private buses important discoveries. No, wrong. To leave a political party, no, it can't be. Enter a building by force, no. Stop functioning because of some faults. Private buses ఏం చేస్తాయంటే ఆన్ ద వే మధ్యలో ఆగిపోతూ ఉంటాయి అనడానికి స్టాప్ ఫంక్షనింగ్ బికాస్ ఆఫ్ సమ్ ఫాల్ట్. ఆప్షన్ 1 is the right answer. It may not be buses, cars, any vehicles. In between, if they give you any trouble, it just you need to use this phrase break down. All right, let's move on to the next question. We must make the river live forever. Must make. What is the underlined part in the above sentence? Must make. Prepositional phrase, adjective phrase, adverbial phrase, and verb phrase. Which phrase is that? My dear students, if you notice, it is followed by the verb. So it is verb phrase. Okay? It is verb phrase. Let's move on to the next question. Dash you like to have a cup of milk. So dash you like to. Should you like to have a cup of milk? Might you like to have a cup of milk? Would you like to have a cup of milk? Can you like to have a cup of milk? Meeku cup of milk kavala. It's offering. When you offer something to someone, which word do you use? Would. So previous model papers we discussed it so many times. It is obviously would. When you offer something, you need to use the modal auxiliary would. Let's move on to the next question. Match the following with suitable articles. My dear students, it's all about articles. Dash Chinese language is difficult. My sister will come in dash day or two. The game has come to dash end. Dash English is an international language. So now you need to select a Chinese or no article required or the or an. My dear students, before oka desha prajalaku ganivandi particular ga manam indicate chesinappudu you need to use the definite article the Chinese. Option C. First one is the Chinese language is difficult because there you are mentioning the such country people. So my sister will come oka roju gani rendu rojulu gani in a day. ఇది కాన్సనెంట్ కాబట్టి మనం ఒక రోజు అన్నప్పుడు ఏ యూస్ చేస్తాం. వేర్ డూ యూ హ్యావ్ ఏ? ఆప్షన్ ఏ. ద గేమ్ హ్యాస్ కమ్ టు డాష్ ఎండ్. ఈ విచ్ సౌండ్ ఈస్ దట్? వవెల్ సౌండ్. విచ్ వన్ యూ నీడ్ టు యూస్? అండ్. వేర్ డూ యూ హ్యావ్ ద ఆప్షన్ డి? సో దిస్ పాయింట్ we discussed in previous model papers. Before languages you should not use any article. So option B. Languagesకి ముందు మనం ఏ ఆర్టికల్ని కూడా యూస్ చేయమన్నమాట. So option B, CADB. Where do you have? Option 2 is the right answer. CADB. Let's move on to the next question. I repeat once again. Particular desha prajalaku mundu manam definite article the use cheyali. Here a day, oka roju rendu rojulu kabatti a day vastundi, has come. It's a vowel sound, and before languages we never use any article. I hope it is clear. Let's move on to the next question. It is usually very hot dash May dash their village. My dear students, it's all about prepositions, and I want you to answer this question because we already discussed many times, a number of times in previous model papers. So before months, which preposition to be used? Before months we use in, and before particular places, small places, which preposition to be used? Yet. In and at, where do you have? In May, at their village. Option 4 is the right answer. It is usually very hot in May at their village. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Which of the following sentence has non-defining relative clause? Non-defining relative clause, my dear students, we discussed it. Always non-defining relative clause followed by comma or hyphen, and it does not define noun. It just gives the additional information about the noun. Even if you take out the clause, so it gives the complete meaning. That is non-defining relative clause. Let's see, where do you have the sentence followed by comma? The woman, no, it is not. I read about this is not, and this is Nick, comma, who was born in Melbourne, comma, now lives. This is the non-defining relative clause. My dear students, if you notice, it just gives the additional information. Even if you take out the sentence also, it gives the complete meaning. Nick now lives in Los Angeles. Doesn't it give the complete meaning? Yes, it gives. Non-defining relative clause ante additional information ne istundi. And inkoka point entante it always followed by a comma gaani hyphen gaani. Okay? I hope it is clear. Let's move on to the next question. Which of the following prefix is used to make active as an opposite word? Prefix, beginning of the word. Which is the prefix? Inactive, disactive, inactive. It is the right word is inactive. Okay? Let's move on to the next question. Gopal said to Urvashi, I am going to Srikakulam tomorrow. Said to. My dear students, when you are changing to direct speech to indirect speech, whenever you have said to, many people immediately they'll change to told to. No, said to, only told, not told to. And the next question is speaker's words, you have to remove this comma and quotations. Remove comma and quotations. And these words are in which sentence, which tense is that? I am going to Srikakulam. So present continuous tense. Present continuous changes to past continuous. Alright, now let's apply the rules and see. Gopal told Urvashi. Where do you have that word? This is not correct. This is not correct. And you have here Gopal told to Urvashi. Wrong one. Because said to changes to told, not told to. Okay. So this is the right one. Let's see whether all the rules are applicable or not. Gopal told Urvashi. Conjunction that to be used. That. Present continuous to past continuous. Pronouns changes to Gopal, he. He was going to Srikakulam the next day. I hope it is clear. And I am going to repeat the points once again. So my dear students, whenever you have in the direct speech said to, it changes to told. And you need to remove the comma and quotation marks. Alright. And that conjunction to be used. See the tense of the given sentence and you need to change the tense. Present continuous to past continuous. Pronouns changes. Alright. I hope it is clear. Let's move on to the next question. Ooty is cooler than Chennai. Ooty is cool. Degrees of comparison. Let's see which degree is that. Cooler. Cool, cooler, coolest. So it is in comparative. When you are changing from comparative to positive degree. When you are changing comparative to positive, rule number 1 is object changes to subject. What is the object here? The Chennai. Chennai. And suitable verb form. What is the suitable verb form? Is. And you need to use not. And you have to use so as in between the right adjective. What is the positive adjective? Cool. And not. Okay. Chennai is. What is the suitable verb form? Is. You need to use not. So cool as Ooty. This is the right option. Here if you notice the third one, what is the adjective here? Cooler. It is in comparative. Wrong one. Chennai is as cool as Ooty, but there is no not in this sentence. This is wrong one. If you notice the first option, Chennai is cooler than Ooty. Cooler again comparative. It is the wrong one. So the right option is option number 4. Rules I am going to repeat once again. When you are changing from comparative to positive degree, object as subject. Second point is suitable verb form. is, and the next one is not you need to use. In between so and as, the proper adjective to be used. Alright, I hope it is clear. Let's move on to the next question. Match the following with suitable articles. This is not articles, my dear students. These are question tags mistakenly given. So I hope I request you to correct it. It's a question tag. Let us see the question tags. There won't be any trouble. You are late to school. The train leaves at 6 p.m. My mother speaks Hindi well. These are the questions given, sentences given. What I always tell you, if the sentence is given positively, you need to use the negative question tag. If the sentence is given negatively, you need to use the positive question tag. And based on the auxiliary verbs given. There won't be any trouble. Won't. What is the full form here? Won't. So you need to take the positive one. What is the positive? Will. Will, and what is the subject here? There. Will there. There won't be any trouble. Akkade em trouble undadu. Untunda? So will there. Where do you have the option? Option D. Next one. You are late to school. You are late to school. So here this is a positive one. You need to take the negative. What is the be form here? Are. And you need to take the negative aren't. What is the subject here? You. Aren't you? Where do you have? Option C. The train leaves. You are talking about the train leaves. Third person singular. So leaves. When you have leaves, you have to take does. This is a positive sentence. You need to take it negatively. Doesn't it. The train you are talking about. Doesn't it. Where do you have the option? Option B. Next one. My mother speaks Hindi well. Again third person singular. So you need to take the question tag doesn't. Because that is a positive question, right? Positive statement. Doesn't. My mother. Pronoun is doesn't she. Where do you have the option? Option A. D, C, B, A. Option 1 is the right answer. I hope the question tags are clear. They are not articles, they are question tags. Alright. Let's move on to the next question. Mohan said, I am going. Again, change into reported speech. My dear students, Mohan said, I am going. So what is the first rule number 1? Take out comma and quotation marks. Mohan said. What is the conjunction to be used? Rule number 2. That I am going. It is in present continuous. Present continuous changes to past continuous. Where do you have past continuous? That he was going. Mohan said that he was going. Here if you notice this option, Mohan said that he had been. This is perfect tense, wrong one. Again he is going, wrong one, because present continuous again can't be present continuous. It should be past continuous. Mohan said that I am going, wrong. Mohan said that, remove comma and quotation marks, that conjunction, I am going, pronoun changes, he was going is the right answer. I hope it is clear. Let's move on to the next question. An interesting question was asked by Veena. My dear students, change into, it is in passive voice, you need to change into active voice. To change into active voice, in the sentence, what do you need to observe? See, was. Ikkada meeku was undi ante ganaka, you need to take V2 form of the verb. So, you have to take an interesting question was asked by Veena. Object as subject, Veena, correct? All sentences are given. Veena, what is the second? What is the verb form here? Asked. Veena asked an interesting question. Because ikkada was undi kada manki, verb emavutundappudu second form. Ask, asked, asked. Veena asked an interesting question. Change here. Veena, object as subject. And verb here, Veena asked. And what is the subject here? An interesting question. Veena asked option 1 is the right answer. Asks cannot be because was is given here. Has asked wrong. Will ask is also wrong. Option 1. మీకు ఇక్కడ was ఉంది అంటే కనుక సెకండ్ ఫామ్కి వెళ్ళిపోండి డైరెక్ట్గా. ఓకే నెక్స్ట్ లెట్స్ సీ ద నెక్స్ట్ క్వశ్చన్. While changing the following sentences from simple present tense to present perfect tense, one of them is not rightly changed. Find it out. My dear students, here simple present tense to present perfect tense. Simple present tense. Simple present. What is the structure of simple present? Subject plus V1 plus object. At the same time, third person singular. If it is third person singular, yes or es. to present perfect. Present perfect, subject plus has or have plus V3. Okay, so this is the structure. Let's see. The grasshopper laughs. So when you're talking about the grasshopper, you need to add s or es to the subject. Perfect, simple present. The grasshopper have laughed. What is wrong in this sentence? Grasshopper is singular, so you have to use has, not have. This is the mistake. The grasshopper has laughed is the right answer, but here it is given the grasshopper has laughed. So this is the wrong one. So you need to tick this one, 1A. Let's see with the other option, others also, whether find out. The ant collects food. So you tell me, what is the present perfect tense? Subject the ant is a singular, has, and V3 form, collected food. Correct. So there is nothing wrong in that. Let's see the next one. The squirrel eats a fruit. The squirrel has, what is the third form? Eaten a fruit. Very good. The squirrel has eaten a fruit. Correct. There is nothing wrong. The fish swims in water. The fish has, third form, swum in water. Rightly changed. So there is no mistake. Our mistake is 1A. What is the mistake? Grasshopper is singular. You need to use has, not have. I hope it is clear. Let's move on to the next question. What are the underlined words called? The son heard the echo, I hate you. Malli shouted, I love you. The mother asked the boy to go back to the valley. The valley is surrounded by green trees. Heard, shouted, asked, surrounded. Don't you think so? These are called action words. Vinadam, aravadam, maatladam, right? Adagadam. When action words kada. What are action words? Action words are nothing but verbs. Where do you have verbs? So option 4 is the right answer. Okay. Let's move on to the next question. I advise you not to stay up to late night to watch the kabaddi finals. You won't be able to wake up in time for school. My dear students, if you notice this sentence, what does the above sentence means? Is it to threaten or to disgrace, to deny or to inform? Let's see the sentence once again. I advise you not to stay up to late night to watch the kabaddi finals. నేను నీకేమని అడ్వైజ్ చేస్తున్నానంటే లేట్ నైట్ వరకు కబడ్డీ ఫైనల్స్ చూడడానికి నువ్వు ఉండొద్దు. ఎందుకంటే యూ వోంట్ బీ ఏబుల్ టు వేకప్ ఇన్ టైమ్ ఫర్ స్కూల్. నువ్వు అవి కనుక చూస్తా లేట్ నైట్ వరకు మెలకుగా ఉంటే నువ్వు టైంకి స్కూల్కి వెళ్ళలేవు అనేది ఒక నెగిటివ్ సెంటెన్స్. కాబట్టి ఇక్కడ అది పాజిటివా నెగిటివ్ అనేది అతని మంచికే చెప్పింది, కానీ అతన్ని డిస్కరేజ్ చేయడం కాబట్టి ఆ చూడ్డాన్ని ఎంటర్టైన్ చేయట్లేదు. మదరో లేకపోతే ఫాదరో అనేది మనకి ఇక్కడ ఇవ్వలేదు, ఎంటర్టైన్ చేయట్లేదు, బట్ టు డిస్కరేజ్ హిమ్, రైట్? ఇట్స్ ఎ నెగిటివ్ సెన్స్. సో ఆప్షన్ 2 is the right answer. Okay, to discourage. Let's move on to the next question. Dash freezing temperature, they trekked for hours. So your options are however, in spite of, although, neither. So here are the options. Freezing temperatures ఉన్నప్పటికీ కూడా దే ట్రెక్డ్ ఫర్ అవర్స్, అన్ని గంటలు వాళ్ళు కొండెక్కుతూ ఉన్నారు అని. అయినప్పటికీ కూడా అనేదానికి మన ఇన్ స్పైట్ ఆఫ్ ఫ్రీజింగ్ టెంపరేచర్ దే ట్రెక్డ్ ఫర్ అవర్స్. దిస్ ఈస్ ద రైట్ ఆప్షన్. లెట్స్ మూవ్ ఆన్ టు ద నెక్స్ట్ క్వశ్చన్. He answered all questions, yet he did not score good marks. My dear students, you need to change into complex form. You need to choose the correct complex form. అసలు కాంప్లెక్స్ ఫామ్ అంటే ఏంటి? We discussed in previous classes. ఒక మెయిన్ క్లాజ్ ఉండి 1 or more than సబార్డినేట్ క్లాజెస్ ఉంటే కనుక అలాంటి సెంటెన్సెస్ని మనం కాంప్లెక్స్ సెంటెన్సెస్ అంటాం. ఇక్కడ మీరు నోటీస్ చేస్తే తో అనే సబార్డినేట్ కంజంక్షన్ యూజ్ చేసి దాన్ని మనం కాంప్లెక్స్ సెంటెన్స్గా ఫామ్ చేసాం. సో these two options are wrong. You have though in 2 sentences. Which one is the right answer? Read out the sentence. Though he answered all questions, he did not score good marks. Though he answered all the questions, he did not scored. Did not scored అనేది రాంగ్ ఆప్షన్. ఎందుకంటే ఇక్కడ డిడ్లోనే మనకి పాస్ట్ టెన్స్ అనేది వచ్చింది. మళ్ళీ ఇక్కడ డిడ్ యూజ్ చేసి స్కోర్డ్ యూజ్ చేయకూడదు మనం, స్కోర్ అనేది. ఇక్కడ ఇచ్చిన ఆప్షన్స్లో ఆప్షన్ 2 is the perfectly correct answer. Okay, so to change into complex form, rule number 1 is you need to use though subordinating conjunction to change the sentence into clause into a subordinating clause, because complex sentence లో మనకి ఒక మెయిన్ క్లాజ్ ఉంటుంది, ఒక సబార్డినేట్ క్లాస్ కానీ అంతకన్నా ఎక్కువ సబార్డినేట్ క్లాసెస్ కానీ ఉంటాయి. I hope it is clear. My dear students, we are done with model paper number 14. I hope the explanation is clear to you. Wish you all the best. Thank you.